It's great to be here today. Thank you very much for inviting us. I wanted to talk to you today around Exeter College's development within the world of retrofit and also the skills shortage leading to net zero. So we recognise not only the part we have to play within the Southwest, leading to PAS 2035, but also again the skills shortage we currently face within the area, aligning ourselves with all our local authorities and their key plans for the workforce development for green skills in the future. We also recognise the need for installers and for those that will actually rectify and install retrofit applications within all our sort of social housing and commercial ventures within the Southwest. So we created something called the Green Construction Advisory Panel, so GCAP for short. Why did we do this? As a provider of skills and apprenticeships, we needed to have a clear line of sight to our employers with regards to what the localised skills need was and what their intentions were for the future, so that we could align ourselves to make sure that we were providing the training that was needed for our local employers. So we were very conscious about the line of sight to new build, where they would take place within the Southwest, and how we can align ourselves to the pipeline of the needs for the skills shortages there. Again, working closely with the social housing sector to look at the planned maintenance of retrofit within our local area. And again, working with key stakeholders with regards to the commercial activity leading to retrofit. We also felt that there was a gathering of momentum from all our local authorities in the need for planning pipeline towards the skills shortage for all our construction activities within the Southwest. And we also needed to understand the strategic plans of our local councils, the wider community, social housing, and then internally we begin to evolve our plan to deliver curriculum to meet the needs of the Southwest. We also wanted to take our learners, our full-time provision and our apprentices to make sure we were giving them an updated input of all sort of sustainable education and skills that they might need that would complement what they're already undertaking whilst we wait for some of the qualifications to catch up to where we needed it to be. So the GCAP, the Green Construction Advisory Panel, it initially started where we invited our key stakeholders from the different sectors here. So having the support of all our schools and colleges within the area, so we can start to consider how we could implement the green skills agenda within schools and colleges. Of course, I've mentioned before around the social housing and the housing stock, how we can make sure that we aligned what we were going to develop to meet the needs of our key social housing. There, of course, were employers that were employing all these skilled workforce already, which needed then to apply more of the green skills and retrofit qualifications as they come online. We wanted to collaborate and support manufacturers, so again looking at making sure we had input from different manufacturers with regards to the key outcomes of our GCAP meetings, and again the charity sector. We had Graham, who came and spoke last week at our GCAP meeting and provided us with an insightful update again nationally around the green skills agenda. With these key members in mind, we had to kind of be clear on the goals and the aims of our GCAP advisory panel. So the three columns that we always refer to within our planning are to the right there. So it was to provide specialist programs to upskill and reskill a workforce, a clear line of sight to demand for skills. We are challenged quite often, very much a chicken and egg situation, where we know Exeter City Council and the ambition to install heat pumps, at least 40,000. We know that there's a skills shortage around the heat pump installation, but again, if one of our young learners was looking for a job role within that kind of sector, they're not quite there. So the GCAP panel really does start to delve into how can we start to bring this pipeline of training, and who are going to be our learners within that area. We also then wanted to make sure that we shared all of our knowledge across the peninsula. So again, it's bringing key national figures to our meetings to update and actually begin to negotiate and work our way through all of the challenges that we have to be true to our three columns there that that GCAP is actually committed to. We know that we're not always the experts, and so again, by fostering our relationships and really collaborating with awarding bodies, with key construction suppliers, manufacturers, we feel then we are starting to be fully informed when we start to plan our curriculum moving forward. So what we aimed to achieve. So we can see on the left hand side there some of our already elements that we have delivered on. So initially, just going back to the growing membership of GCAP, where we started and where we are now, we have members that are asking to join so they can be part of the solution. And this has allowed us to achieve some of our key fundamentals already. So we've designed employer-led short courses, which again was very much from those roundtable discussions with our GCAP members to make sure that we were designing something that was really relevant and needed for our employers. We were successful with a tender for DFE boot camps, and again that was very much designed around from all the intelligence of our GCAP members, and also making sure we were supporting the skills plans shortage within our local sort of Exeter City Council. We even designed the course to meet delivery patterns, and that was all advised by our GCAP members. So again, it's very much employer focused, that what we are doing within our group. We also believe we've created a hotspot for the retrofit agenda within the Exeter area. So already we are embedding retrofit and green construction skills within one of our local multi-academy trusts. We've designed curriculum to support the geography curriculum and a STEM element, which will actually become a competition where again it's very much green construction being embedded within our local schools. So we see this then as the beginning of our pipeline, so when learners arrive at Exeter College they're already understanding and have true understanding and value of the green construction agenda within our local area. We also have designed a personal development programme surrounding sustainability and green construction for all our full-time learners. Our expectation is that we would have hit around 15,000 learners with new information and sustainability curriculum just by the beginning of this, by some of the initiatives within our GCAP group. Our final part within the wider awareness retrofit agenda is we are creating some top trump cards. It's very much around green construction careers. So that will be influencers of green construction already working in the industry within a top trump pack of cards that can go out to schools and secondary schools and also into our colleges to actually start to raise awareness of those job roles that are currently in place or are being developed as we go along within green construction. With a pyramid the triangle on the right hand side, again we're very much looking at those level 2 and 3s for installers and the application of retrofits within our construction skills agenda. And as you can see, the triangle kind of shows where we are pitching ourselves to again look at the training needs around the level 2 and 3 skills agenda. And then the final part is our Future Build programme. Next slide, please. So we have, via GCAP, we have created an employer design facility, which is one of the first employer-led projects that Exeter College has been involved with, which actually is going to turn into an actual build. It's a £500,000 project. It's been designed by employers for to meet the green skills agenda. Again, we're collaborating with suppliers, manufacturers and awarding bodies to make sure what is delivered within our build is very much aligned to the green skills agenda. We want to make sure that we're creating the right resource and we're meeting our local employers' needs. And what we're also planning on doing is enhancing all of the qualifications that are full-time and apprentices are currently undertaking, so that there's an element of sustainability and green skills within their current curriculum, to make sure we're supporting them and advising them as they move through their apprenticeships, and also as we await for the creation of more green skills construction apprenticeship standards. And again, it's very much about meeting that net zero agenda. So that's a really exciting project, which again is just stemmed out of GCAP, working very collaboratively with all our local employers. Okay, so as you would have heard throughout the presentation, very much around collaboration with our stakeholders within GCAP, and just some key takeaways. Exeter College is at the tip of the spear, so making sure we drive forward all the developments and changes around the green construction area within the Southwest. We need to provide a clear line of sight with regards to the skills agenda, and by being the tip of the spear, we are pulling along all our key stakeholders to make sure we hit all the needs of our employers, our learners and the local community. Again, mapping out of the aims of GCAP have been vital. We want to avoid mission creep. It's very easy to have a meeting and start to go off on different tangents and very much have different influences, but we stick true to our 3 pillars, which is designing and delivering specialist programs to upskill and reskill the workforce. We have a clear line of sight to the demand for skills, and we don't defer from that. And also making sure we share our knowledge across the peninsula, from education, with our housing sector, again with all our employers and manufacturers. So we make sure that we're sticking true to the 3 pillars, avoiding mission creep, but also referring back to every decision made that is relevant to the GCAP aims. Again, simplifying. So with many people around the table, many key stakeholders around the table, we need to always go back to keep it simple and make sure we're referring back to our 3 pillars, trying to avoid complexity and being clear on our targets and true to GCAP. At the beginning of every meeting, we've adopted a "you said we did." It really does invigorate when we announce what we have completed since the previous meeting, who has been involved with those "you said we did" and what we have achieved. So again, that really does invigorate our membership to keep continuing to strive to meet our targets and KPIs. Again, we have a real blend of stakeholders. I'm going back to slide 4. Schools, colleges, awarding bodies, employers, manufacturers, charity are all having a part to play as we start to develop our build and then our delivery plans for the green skills agenda. And that very much is the clear line of sight. What do we want to achieve? We want to make sure within the Southwest we are providing those specialist programs that are needed for the retrofit agenda. We want to make sure that we're working with the operatives and installers to make sure that what we provide is what will help towards or target the net zero. And again, as we move forward and bring those out for our employers to enrol on, that again stimulates the vision and progress of our GCAP meeting. And we also had members that were attending a range of other meetings regionally, which were very similar. And recently, to avoid and reduce duplication, we've joined up and collaborated wider with another sort of green construction agenda meeting, and we believe being together will actually be truly stronger as we evolve our GCAP 3 pillars. And that's me completed. Thank you.